Tomorrow there's an election. The other day it was Halloween. Kyle, how was your Halloween?
Oh my gosh, it was so much fun.
It was.
I feel like I don't know, like I cracked some life code or something that I want to do Halloween the way we did it this year every single year. So
How'd
what we
you do
did,
it?
we went up north to this tiny little town to I don't even know what to call it. It's like a miniature resort, if you will, but without resort amenities.
or enemies.
There was like 12 little tiny A-frame cabins. So that's the entire property is 12 cabins worth of people. And my entire family went up, which means we took up 5 of the cabins, which means we were like half of everyone there. There were a couple of them that were empty and there were a couple other families there. And so what we did was we just trick-or-treated at our own cabins.
That's
and then
great.
That was it.
That's safe. That's very
So it's
safe.
like afterwards, it's like, wow, it's like I don't have to check candy. I know none of my family members are lacing these things with anything. And it was like the kids just ran to each cabin and we were like kind of by ourselves. And it was like worry-free, if you will. And I just loved it so much.
That's good. And Rich, how was your Thanksgiving? Your
Thanksgiving.
Halloween, because you got little kids. How'd you guys?
Yeah,
Did you guys
so
trick or treat?
We did. My neighborhood. I really didn't know on Friday if there was going to be a candy run. I never saw any neighborhood memos. I just knew that the people on my street were going to party a little bit. So, I went and got candy, and as soon as 6 o'clock hit. It was kids I've never seen before appeared out of the woodwork. I mean, I had 300 pieces of candy, and they are gone. Like, we got hit hard. So, I mean, the neighborhood was popping, except for my boy Joe. I told you he got his wisdom teeth pulled out. He was still laid out on Saturday, so
poor guy.
he didn't even get dressed up. He just kind of hung out, and then the other ones went out. But I thought it was great. It was good to see people out and about.
Did anybody get creative? Because I know, like, just
Yeah.
going through, like, stories of my friends that live all over the place. There was, like, a bunch of candy shoots. There was a lot of people set up, like, an old school laundry line outside and put the bags of candy up and that kind of thing.
Yeah, we had a neighbor who was dressed as a spider and would go way up this ladder and drop candy down a PCV pipe down to kids' bags, so they were super far away. That was pretty cool.
That's fun.
Pretty cool.
My son Dutch is the only one that went trick-or-treating in my family. And he went over with some friends. And so I was expecting him to come home with a big bag of candy. And so I was like, where's the bag of candy, dude? And he's like, well, when you go up to a house, they have a table set up and you take one candy, so we would just eat it there. So they would eat it at every house they went to. That's how the houses were.
like a
so we didn't need
progressive
a bag. We just go, take a Reese's, eat it, go to the next house, eat it, go to the next house, eat it. They didn't have any candy to bring home. And my son Jake, he went out with all his friends. They went bowling, and then they all came over to our house and had pizza. And my son Kemp, he just stayed in the back room and played video games, right? And we didn't have one person knock on our door. Not
What?
one
Really?
person. And our street usually looks like Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
And not one person knocked on our
Wow.
door. Yeah, it was crazy. I loved it.
That is surprising. 'Cause
I know.
We were talking about that earlier, like what to expect, and you're like, I think it'll just be like a normal Halloween. It totally wasn't.
Nothing.
Wow.
I mean, there were some people out in the street, but nobody came to our door. You know, so that was it. So that's a peaceful thing. So tomorrow is election day, right? So producer Bill, was like sent this email, like wants everyone to do homework, come up with something to do for election day. And I came up. I don't know if he didn't respond to my email. In fact, I have such technological problems. I don't even know if he got my email. Did you get my email, Bill? Bill, did you get my email?
Yeah, I got your email and everybody's email.
Okay, because I didn't know if you got my email because I have all kinds of issues. But my wife was driving to dinner last night, and I was just coming up with ideas. And 2 of the ideas I really like, and I think, and literally was just coming up with them as she was driving. And one of them, well, I'll tell you both of them. One I know we can't do, but man, it'd be so good to do.
What is?
Oh,
Can
no.
you say it?
Yeah, I call it presidential erection. We get
Oh, that's
two
right there. I already know we can't do it.
We'd get 2 old guys, dress them up as Biden and Trump, and then you have a stripper come in here, and whoever get the erection first, that would be the next president. We try to predict who the next president's
It's
going
like
to
the
be.
Super Bowl of eggs.
That was my next idea. The next idea was the eggs of election, the election of eggs. Let's get an egg, dress one up as Trump or Republican, and another one as Biden, put them in the microwave, see which one pops, whichever one is left is the next president. In fact, I bet you we could probably get press on that if we do it it today before the election, because tomorrow all the news is going to be about the election. But today it could be some radio station, morning show, John J. and Rich predict, and they show the video and we'll have this egg standing there. I think we'd get those are the two. But I don't think we could pull off. I don't think we could find a stripper in time.
Yes, that would be the problem.
Presidential erection.
The
Two old guys,
second one
though.
is a good idea.
Two old guys dress them up as Biden and Trump. I think we can get them in the studio. But I just picture the two old guys dressed up over here in the corner and a stripper dancing around waiting for them to get an erection. And then we go, congratulations. And we send out a press release. Here's going to be the next president.
You are
You
wild.
know, I bet you could sell that idea to Howard Stern. I think he could get away with it.
My wife, she liked it a lot. And she was like, if you were, when I first started my radio show in Cincinnati, she goes, if you would have done that, you could have pulled it off in Cincinnati. I don't see the difference between doing a radio show here or in Cincinnati, except finding a couple old guys to dress up as Trump. We need more time. I wish I would have thought of this idea a week or two ago. But anyway, I think we should pull off the election of eggs, though. Don't you think we could easily pull that off?
Sure. I mean, it's successfully predicted the Super Bowl like the last 8 Super Bowls, right?
I know.
Why not?
So let's get into TV real quick. Mandalorian, episode 1, season 2.
Yeah, you know what? There was a lot of hype before this show, and I was even worried that I wasn't going to live up to it because season 1 was incredible of The Mandalorian on Disney Plus. So I was kind of nervous to see episode 1 and be disappointed. But sure enough, they nailed it. The show from beginning to end was just beautiful. And the way that it ended was on a high. Let's go. It makes me sad that we have to wait a week
Well, what's
for
funny
another
is-
episode. It breaks my heart.
I was watching it, and I started texting Suzette, and I guess Suzette must have just finished it, and I was just maybe 15 minutes in. And I'm like, oh, my God, Boba Fett, I said, right? Because there's a Boba Fett thing. And then you go, it's the ending. You kind of, she spoiled the ending
Did.
with the text. And I was like, what? And she goes, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. But her text is like, it is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And now you got Baby Yoda with you?
I
You
got
the
Baby
child?
Yoda with me, the child. I
Aw.
love him so much. I know. I actually saw your text while I was halfway through the episode.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm not looking at John Jay's text because I kind of saw what you text and I knew you were talking about Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I'm not looking at his text message. He probably already saw the episode. I don't want him to ruin anything. And as soon as the episode's over, I text you back and I ruined the episode
But
for
it
you.
was okay.
I
But
felt
let
so
me ask you this,
bad.
though. So my son, we were talking about it at dinner last night. My son, I watched it ahead of Jake, of all 3 of my kids. And then now I had to watch it again with them all. And then Jake watched it. My oldest son watched it later. And then at dinner last night, he goes, hey, I finally watched Mandalorian. And then he said something about Mandalorian. I was like, what? So I went back and watched it, and he's right. You guys catch anything else about Mandalorian?
But not besides the big reveal? No, What?
Oh, my God. It's a tiny little thing.
There's more?
Yes. It's a tiny little thing, and he's absolutely right. So you know the Marshal?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Did you see the land speeder he was riding?
Yes.
That's Anakin's. That's what
That
Anakin.
is?
That's what Anakin built in Phantom Menace.
I didn't
Oh,
catch that
wow.
at
It's
all.
this tiny little thing, and I was like, "Oh man, I got goosebumps." It's so
Oh.
silly,
You really get emotional watching it.
I know.
so silly, so silly.
He's awful reckless with the child, too, isn't he?
Oh,
you got to be
yes.
more careful with that little baby Yoda around.
Mm.
I know. It's such a good show. And I mean, Saturday Night Live was even talking about it. I mean, it was everywhere.